Hey there, fellow knowledge seeker. Ready to deep dive into the world of Rhodiola Rosea.
Yeah.
This isn't just some trendy herb. We're talking about a plant with a history as fascinating as its potential benefits. We've got some cutting-edge research to unpack a scientific paper that dives deep into rhodiola's clinical effectiveness. Our mission to figure out if this golden root lives up to the hype, and most importantly, how it might impact you.
I love that we're starting with golden root. The names alone, Arctic root too, tell you this plant is tough, resilient. It thrives in places most plants wouldn't dare. High altitudes, frigid temperatures, clinging to rocky cliffs.
It's like the plant version of a survival expert.
Yeah, absolutely.
And people have been paying attention for centuries. I mean, Siberian newlyweds were gifted rhodiola for good luck and healthy kids.
Yeah.
They even put it in wedding bouquets in parts of Georgia.
Really?
Clearly, they were onto something.
Right. It makes you wonder what they knew back then that science is only now catching up to.
Exactly. Speaking of catching up, rhodiola is often called an adaptogen. But I'll admit, that sounds a bit like something out of a superhero movie. What's the real deal with this adaptogen business?
Think of it this way. Life throws stress at us constantly. Deadlines, commutes, that never-ending to-do list. Adaptogens like rhodiola are like trainers for your stress response system. They help your body handle those curveballs not by masking the stress, but by building resilience.
So it's not about eliminating stress altogether, because let's face it, that's impossible, but more about equipping our bodies to roll with the punches.
Exactly. Instead of being thrown off balance by every little thing, rhodiola helps you bounce back faster, find that equilibrium.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. And I'm guessing all those impressive effects have something to do with what's inside this golden root, right? Like, what's the secret sauce?
Well, it's not so much a single secret sauce, but more like a whole symphony of compounds working together. Rhodiola boasts over 140 different compounds, talk about complex. But there are a few key players we should focus on.
Over 140. That's incredible. But for us, what matters most is knowing which ones are the real heavy hitters.
Absolutely. And one group stands out. Rosavins. These are unique to Rhodiola rosea, like a fingerprint, ensuring you're getting the real deal. Think of it this way. If you were buying a diamond, you'd want to know it was the real thing, not a cheap imitation.
That's a great analogy. So rosavins are like the authenticity stamp of rhodiola.
Exactly. They work in concert with other compounds like salidroside and tyrosol, but those rosavins are key. They're the ones researchers look for when determining the potency and quality of rhodiola extract.
So if rosavins are the quality marker, what are some of the specific benefits researchers are most excited about? What kind of results are we talking about?
One area where rhodiola shines is its impact on mental fatigue. We're talking about that feeling of brain fog, that inability to focus, the exhaustion that comes from chronic stress.
Oh, believe me, I know that feeling all too well.
Right.
Deadlines, late nights, the constant pressure to perform, it's enough to make anyone want to crawl under a rock.
And that's where rhodiola steps in. There are studies showing that rhodiola extract significantly improves mental performance in people experiencing burnout. For instance, one study focused on physicians working grueling night shifts. Can you imagine the mental demands of that job?
I can only imagine. So did rhodiola help these sleep-deprived doctors think more clearly?
Exactly. After taking rhodiola, they performed better on tests, measuring attention, memory, even processing speed. It's like rhodiola gave their brains a much-needed boost, helping them function better despite the exhaustion.
That's incredible. But what about for people who aren't facing the intense pressure of a life or death job? Could rhodiola help the average person struggling with mental fatigue?
Absolutely. There have been studies on students facing exam stress, for example. Rhodiola helped them feel more focused, less overwhelmed, and even improve their sleep quality, which is crucial for mental clarity. It seems like rhodiola is especially good at helping us cope when mental demands are high.
Yeah,
But it's not just about mental performance.
right.
Remember, rhodiola is an adaptogen. It helps us deal with stress in a holistic way.
Right. So it's not just about acing those exams or powering through a tough work shift.
Right.
It's about supporting our overall well-being in the face of all kinds of stress.
Exactly. And that brings us to some of rhodiola's other potential benefits, like its impact on anxiety and depression.
Okay.
Now, it's crucial to emphasize that rhodiola isn't a replacement for professional help if you're struggling with these conditions.
Of course, it's always important to consult with a healthcare professional.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like rhodiola could be a valuable addition to a comprehensive treatment plan.
That's what the research suggests.
Yeah.
For example, there was a study on people with generalized anxiety disorder, or GAD.
Okay.
They took rhodiola extract for a few weeks, and their anxiety symptoms, as measured by standardized scales, significantly decreased.
Wow, so their anxiety actually lessened. Were there any noticeable side effects?
That's the interesting part. While medications for anxiety and depression can sometimes have unwanted side effects,
Right.
rhodiola was generally well tolerated in the studies.
That's a huge plus for people who are sensitive to medications or looking for a more natural approach.
Right.
But what about depression? Does rhodiola show promise there as well?
There have been promising trials on mild to moderate depression, comparing rhodiola to a placebo and even to a common antidepressant medication, sertraline.
Wait, they compared it to an actual prescription medication. What did they find?
While rhodiola's antidepressant effects weren't as strong as the medication,
Yeah.
it still had a positive impact.
Okay.
And importantly, as we saw with anxiety, it was much better tolerated with fewer side effects.
That's really significant.
Right.
Side effects can be a deal breaker for many people.
Yeah.
So if rhodiola offers some relief with fewer downsides, it could be a game changer for those struggling with mild to moderate depression.
It highlights the potential of rhodiola as a gentle yet effective approach.
Right.
But it's not just about our mental health.
Yeah.
Rhodiola seems to have a remarkable impact on our physical well-being, too.
Okay, so let's talk about those Siberian hunters and Georgian newlyweds again.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they weren't just taking rhodiola for their mental clarity.
Right.
What's the scoop on its physical benefits?
They definitely knew what they were doing. Modern research suggests they were harnessing rhodiola's ability to boost physical endurance and speed up recovery after exercise.
Hold on, are we talking Olympic athlete level here?
Well,
Or could this apply to someone like me who's just trying to make it through a workout without collapsing?
that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
The studies include both elite athletes and everyday folks.
Okay.
What they're finding is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Imagine you're cycling, and that voice in your head says, I can't go any further.
Oh, I know that voice all too well.
Right.
It usually pops up about 5 minutes into my workout.
Well, in one study, cyclists who took rhodiola before a workout actually perceived the exercise as less strenuous.
Okay.
They were pushing themselves further and feeling less fatigued.
Wow, that's like tricking your brain into working harder. But what's the actual science behind this? How is rhodiola making our bodies more efficient?
Researchers are exploring a few different mechanisms.
Okay.
One is that rhodiola seems to boost ATP production.
Okay.
ATP is like the fuel that powers our cells, so having more of it means we can power through those workouts.
So it's like giving ourselves an extra energy boost.
Exactly. It's also thought to help our bodies store more glycogen,
Okay.
another critical energy source for muscles.
Gotcha.
And there's even evidence that rhodiola could help protect muscles from damage during exercise.
So it's increasing energy, enhancing fuel storage, and even protecting our muscles.
That's right.
That's a triple threat.
It is.
But are we just talking about endurance activities like cycling?
Well,
Or could rhodiola be helpful for strength training as well?
great question. There's evidence it could benefit strength training too.
Okay.
One study showed that rhodiola increased bench press velocity in resistance-trained men,
Wow.
suggesting it could boost power and explosiveness during those workouts.
Okay, now we're talking my language. I could definitely use a little extra power in my weightlifting routine.
Yeah.
But before I run off to stock up on rhodiola, let's talk about safety.
Sure.
Is there anything we need to be cautious about?
That's a smart question.
Yeah.
Overall, rhodiola is considered well tolerated,
Okay.
especially when taken as directed.
Right.
But like with any supplement, it's always best to chat with your doctor first,
Of course.
especially if you have any health conditions or are taking medications.
Yeah.
They can help you figure out if rhodiola is right for you and what dosage is appropriate.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's like, even though it's natural, it's still a powerful substance, so we need to treat it with respect.
Exactly. And speaking of dosage,
Yeah.
the research emphasizes the importance of using standardized extracts.
Okay.
Remember all those compounds we talked about?
Yeah.
Different rhodiola supplements can vary wildly in their concentration of those key players, like rosavins and salidroside.
Okay, back up a second.
Mm.
Standardized extracts.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
It's all about consistency.
Okay.
Imagine you're baking a cake and you use a different amount of sugar every time.
Okay.
Some cakes will be too sweet, some not sweet enough.
So you could be taking one rhodiola supplement that's packed with beneficial compounds
Yeah.
and another that barely has any.
Exactly. And that can make a huge difference in terms of effectiveness.
Right.
A standardized extract ensures you're getting a consistent amount of the active compounds every time,
Okay.
like using a measuring cup to ensure your cake is perfect every time.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
So how can we tell if an extract is standardized? Is there something specific to look for on the label?
absolutely. Look for extracts that specify the percentage of rosavins and saladroside.
Okay.
Aim for at least 3% rosavins and 1% saladroside based on the research.
That's super helpful. It's like having a cheat sheet for choosing a high-quality rhodiola supplement.
Exactly.
But let me play devil's advocate for a moment. We've talked about all these amazing potential benefits, but isn't it possible that some of the excitement around rhodiola is just hype? Another trendy health fad that will eventually fade away.
That's a fair point, and it's always wise to be a bit skeptical.
Yeah.
But what sets rhodiola apart is the growing body of scientific evidence.
Okay.
We're not just talking about anecdotal reports or ancient traditions.
Right.
We have clinical trials with solid data to back up many of these claims.
So it's not just wishful thinking.
Yeah.
There's real science behind the excitement.
Exactly. Rhodiola has both a rich history of use and a growing foundation of scientific research to support its potential.
That's what makes this so fascinating.
Right.
We're not just scratching the surface. We're going deep into the research to uncover what's really going on.
And that deeper dive is revealing some truly intriguing possibilities.
Oh.
We've talked about mental and physical performance.
Yeah.
But there's more to rhodiola's story. The research paper you shared hints at some surprising benefits beyond what we've already discussed.
Okay, I'm definitely intrigued. Spill the beans. What other secrets does this golden root hold?
Well, for one, there's increasing evidence that rhodiola might have cardioprotective effects.
Okay.
Remember we talked about how it helps the body adapt to stress?
Yeah.
Well, chronic stress can really take a toll on our cardiovascular system.
So could rhodiola be acting as a shield for our hearts?
In a way, yes.
Okay.
Studies have shown that rhodiola can help protect the heart from stress-induced damage, which is a major contributor to heart disease.
Wow.
It might also reduce those inflammatory markers that pop up after exercise,
Oh,
which is important for overall heart health.
that's incredible. Are we talking about potentially lowering the risk of heart disease?
It's an area that needs more research,
Right.
but the early findings are promising.
Okay.
And here's another potential benefit that's really fascinating.
Okay.
Though we have to be careful here because the research is still quite limited.
Ooh, I love a good mystery. Lay it on me. What is it?
It appears rhodiola might have some positive effects on reproductive health.
Wait, really? No, that's a twist I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
Think back to those traditional uses. Siberian newlyweds being gifted rhodiola for fertility.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a superstition. There might be something to it.
Right.
There's a long history of rhodiola being used to support reproductive health in various cultures,
Yeah.
particularly in Siberia and Georgia.
That's right. We talked about those wedding traditions earlier.
Yes.
So is there any scientific evidence to support those age-old beliefs?
There was a study on women with amenorrhea,
Okay.
which is the absence of menstruation.
Right.
After taking rhodiola extract, a significant number of these women regained normal menstrual cycles,
Wow.
and some even conceived.
Wow, that's remarkable. But what's the connection between rhodiola and fertility? What's the underlying mechanism at play?
One possibility is that rhodiola's stress-reducing effects are key here. Chronic stress can disrupt the delicate hormonal balance needed for reproduction.
So by helping the body manage stress, rhodiola might indirectly improve reproductive function.
Right.
It's like creating a more balanced internal environment for conception to occur.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
And it highlights the interconnectedness of our bodies, how something that seems unrelated, like stress,
Yeah.
can have a ripple effect on other aspects of our health.
That's a powerful insight. It really makes you appreciate the complexity of human biology and how rhodiola seems to work on so many levels.
Right.
So before we wrap up this fascinating deep dive into the world of rhodiola,
Yep.
let's recap what we've learned.
Sounds like a plan. Let's bring it all together for our listener.
So we started by uncovering rhodiola's history,
Yes.
its reputation as a powerful adaptogen.
Right.
We then explored how its unique blend of compounds, especially those rosavins, contribute to a wide range of potential benefits.
Yeah.
We learned about its ability to combat mental fatigue, reduce anxiety and depression symptoms, and even enhance physical performance for both endurance and strength training.
That's right.
And just when we thought it couldn't get any more fascinating,
Yeah.
we uncovered those intriguing possibilities regarding heart and reproductive health.
It's amazing how much this one plant seems to impact our well-being.
It really is.
But I think what's most exciting is that We're still learning so much about its potential.
Right.
The research is ongoing.
Yeah.
And who knows what other incredible discoveries are on the horizon.
Right. It feels like we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what rhodiola has to offer.
Absolutely.
And as we continue to unravel its secrets, we might find even more ways to harness its power to enhance our lives.
Exactly. It's a reminder that nature holds incredible potential for healing and well-being.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah,
It's been an amazing journey exploring the world of rhodiola with you.
it's been a pleasure. And to our listener, I hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity about rhodiola and the incredible power of nature to support our well-being.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the fascinating world of Rhodiola Rosea, let's recap the key takeaways for you.
Okay.
We started by exploring its history, those intriguing nicknames that hint at its resilience and power.
Right.
We then uncovered the science behind its adaptogenic properties, how it helps us cope with stress on multiple levels, not by masking it, but by strengthening our ability to adapt.
Exactly.
We dove deep into the research, examining rhodiola's potential to enhance both mental and physical performance.
Yeah.
From those exhausted doctors working night shifts to students battling exam stress, the evidence suggests rhodiola can help us sharpen our focus, boost our energy, and even improve our mood when the pressure is on.
It really can.
And let's not forget those athletes pushing their limits. Rhodiola's ability to enhance endurance, speed up recovery, and even protect muscles from damage is truly remarkable. And just when we thought we had a handle on all its benefits, we uncovered those intriguing possibilities regarding heart and reproductive health.
It's clear that rhodiola is more than just a trendy herb.
Right.
It's a plant with a rich history and a growing body of scientific evidence to support its remarkable potential.
Exactly. And we hope this deep dive has empowered you to make informed decisions about your own health and well-being.
Absolutely. Knowledge is power, and we encourage you to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep seeking those natural solutions that can help you live a healthier, more fulfilling life.
So to our listener, we leave you with one final thought-provoking question.
Okay.
If rhodiola can help our bodies adapt to stress so effectively, could it actually play a role in preventing those chronic diseases that are often linked to long-term stress? Is rhodiola not just a band-aid for our modern lifestyle, but a potential key to a healthier future? That's something to ponder as you continue your own exploration of this incredible plant. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of Rhodiola Rosea.